40 years of silence. 40 years of waiting. And now he's free again. This Halloween, Michael Myers walks once more, and the streets of Haddonfield will know terror. Welcome back to Recap TV. Today, we're diving into the brutal 2018 horror film called Halloween. If you enjoy story recaps like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more recaps like this. Before we start, I want to wish everyone a happy Halloween. Now get comfy and let's dive right into the story. 40 years have passed since the night that forever changed the town of Haddonfield. 40 years since evil came home. Inside the cold gray walls of Smith's Grove Sanitarium, the world's most notorious killer waits in silence. Michael Myers stands unmoving, a hollow vessel behind pale, emotionless eyes. He has not spoken a single word in 4 decades. 2 investigative journalists, Aaron Corey and Dana Haynes, arrive at the facility, desperate for a story that might resurrect the legend of that Halloween night in 1978. They have chased leads, interviewed survivors, and gathered reports. But this is what they came for. The man who started it all. Dr. Ranbir Sartain, Michael's new psychiatrist and former student of Dr. Loomis, accompanies them. Sartain speaks of Michael with fascination, describing him as beyond comprehension, a being of pure evil. There is admiration in his tone, something chilling beneath the professionalism. Michael does not move. His back is to them. Older, hair streaked gray, body heavy but powerful, he stands restrained, silent. Aaron pulls a mask from his bag, the pale, lifeless face that once became legend. He holds it up, calling Michael's name, demanding acknowledgement. The other patients grow restless, sensing something shifting in the air. Their shrieks rise, chains rattle, even the dogs begin to bark. Despite the chaos, Michael stands motionless, silent, unmoved. No answers, no reaction, nothing. The journalists leave, empty-handed, the weight of that silence following them. Their next stop is Haddonfield. They are going to see the only person who survived him, Laurie Strode, the woman who went through hell 40 years ago, fighting to survive the carnage. Laurie lives alone, her home a fortress. Steel gates guard the perimeter, every door, every window reinforced. Aaron and Dana arrive, offering money for her time. Laurie accepts reluctantly. She is no longer the terrified teenager she once was. Trauma has hardened her. Fear has sharpened into obsession. The journalists ask why Michael did it, hoping for insight, reasoning. Laurie tells them the truth. There is no reason. There never was. Only the void inside him. Desperate for any kind of connection with Michael, they urge Laurie to meet him, hoping her presence might stir a reaction from the monster. Laurie's expression hardens, the weight of 40 years of trauma behind her eyes, then refuses without a word. With quiet gesture, she sends them away. Morning settles over Haddonfield. Inside a quiet suburban home, Karen, Laurie's daughter, lives with her husband Ray and their daughter Allison. Today is her honor ceremony, and Karen promises she'll be there. When Allison asks if her grandmother Laurie is coming, Karen lies, saying Laurie couldn't make it. Allison knows the truth. Laurie wasn't invited. Walking to school with her friends Vicky and Dave, Allison vents her frustration. Her mother wants to keep her away from Laurie, who still lives trapped in fear of what happened 40 years ago. Her friends are curious, asking about the old murders, but Allison doesn't share their fascination about the topic. At school, we meet her boyfriend Cameron and his friend Oscar. Everyone is excited for Halloween night, but Allison feels distant, carrying a shadow her friends can't understand. During class, she looks out the window and sees Laurie standing outside, watching her. They meet outside. Laurie congratulates her and gives her money. A simple, proud gesture. The conversation turns heavy. Allison says her mother keeps her distance because Laurie never moved on from the past. Laurie admits that if being prepared made her daughter hate her, she can live with that, as long as they're safe. Laurie returns to her isolated fortress of a home. She loads her rifle, fires at the targets, each shot echoing through the silence. She isn't healing. She's preparing for the worst. That night, preparations begin for the prisoner transfer at Smith's Grove. Among them is Michael Myers, silent, motionless, and restrained. The bus waits in foggy headlights. Guards check restraints and paperwork. Dr. Sartain insists on accompanying Michael. Chains clink as Michael is led onto the bus with other patients. Outside the prison gates, Laurie watches from her truck as the bus begins its transfer into the night. Later that night, the Strode family gathers for dinner. Allison celebrates her achievements. her parents smiling proudly. Then Laurie arrives. She looks out of place among the laughter and soft music. She congratulates Allison, trying to act normal, but the mask of composure slips. She breaks down, the weight of years of fear spilling out. Her voice cracks as she confesses she saw Michael and he is being transferred elsewhere. Karen tries to calm her, but the damage is done. Laurie leaves soon after, her car disappearing into the night. Karen opens up to Allison about her childhood, a past she rarely speaks of. She tells her how Laurie raised her in constant fear, teaching her to shoot, to fight, to survive. Every day was a lesson in preparing for the monster that might come back. Laurie's trauma became hers, shaping every corner of her childhood. Eventually, social services stepped in and took her away, giving her what they called a normal life. On a dark road nearby, a man drives with his teenage son. Their headlights cut through the fog until a sudden shape appears ahead. A figure in all white stumbling in the middle of the road. A bus lies on its side in a ditch, its lights flickering. Figures wander aimlessly around it. People in white gowns, their faces pale, their movements strange. The father steps out, offering help. His voice fades into the dark. The boy stays in the car and calls the police. He says there has been an accident. The silence stretches too long and his father doesn't return. He grabs his rifle and steps out into the mist. Outside, a guard lies on the ground, his body broken. He gasps, warning him to run. The boy doesn't listen and steps into the bus. There, another figure stirs. The boy fires and hits Dr. Sartain. Panic takes over. The boy runs back to the truck, slams the door and locks it, but it's already too late. Michael is there. The boy never makes it home. Sheriff Frank Hawkins arrives at the scene. The same man who stopped Michael once before, now staring at the nightmare all over again. Officers comb the wreckage, finding Dr. Sartain barely alive. His words are scattered, broken, but clear enough. Michael escaped. Later that morning, Aaron and Dana stand before a grave in a quiet Haddonfield cemetery. The name carved into the stone reads, Judith Myers, Michael's sister. They speak softly, unaware of the shadow standing just beyond the trees. Michael watches them. The pair stops at a gas station to refuel on their way out of town. The day is calm, the air ordinary, but something feels wrong. Aaron stays by the pump, filling the car as Dana heads inside to use the restroom. The station is quiet, too quiet. When Aaron finishes, he walks in to pay, only to find the cashier brutally killed. Meanwhile, Dana sits in the restroom. The door creaks open. Footsteps echo softly on the tile. She assumes it's another customer, until she hears the sound of stall doors being pushed open, one after another, moving closer. The footsteps stop right outside her door. Silence. Then the handle rattles. A moment later, something drops over the stall. A handful of bloodied teeth scattering across the floor in front of her. Terror floods through her. She crawls away, screaming. Aaron bursts in, wielding a crowbar, his eyes going wide after he sees Michael. Aaron swings, but Michael catches him effortlessly and slams him against the wall again and again until the fight goes still. Dana screams, scrambling to the floor. Soon, Michael is already on her. His hand closes around her throat. Aaron's broken body lies nearby as Dana's screams fade into silence. When it's over, Michael steps out of the restroom. In the trunk of their car, he finds what he came for, the mask. The eyes disappear behind the dark holes. And in that moment, the shape is reborn. Laurie hears the news on the television. Reports of a transport bus crash outside town. The words hit her like a knife to the chest. She already knows what it means. She bursts into Karen's home. Laurie can barely contain herself. She warns them that Michael is free, that they need to lock the house down and get to safety. Karen insists everything is fine, trying to calm her mother. But Laurie's fear runs deeper than words can reach. She's been waiting 40 years for this night, preparing for it while everyone else tried to forget. At the same time, Sheriff Hawkins arrives at the gas station. The area is cordoned off with police tape, but the scene inside is chaos. Mechanics, journalists, and attendants all dead. Laurie pulls up just in time to see the coroner wheeling the bodies away, realizing her greatest fear has come true. That evening, the town begins its annual Halloween celebrations. Families fill the sidewalks, children laugh beneath paper lanterns, and porch lights flicker across Haddonfield. The streets are alive, but evil walks among them again. Michael moves silently through the crowd. He turns down a side street, slipping into the shadow of a small home. He walks around the house and finds a hammer resting on a workbench. Through a window, he sees a woman in her kitchen, but it's already too late. Michael steps forward and strikes. He leaves her body on the floor, trading the hammer for a gleaming kitchen knife. Then he moves to the next house. A single step, one door, and another innocent life ends. The night has just begun. Elsewhere, Allison laughs with her friends at the high school Halloween party. The music blares, the lights flash, and for a moment, the world feels normal. Her boyfriend, Cameron, is there too. But their night takes a turn when he gets drunk and flirts with another girl. Allison walks away, hurt and angry, unaware of what's happening just a few streets away. At another house nearby, her friend Vicky babysits a young boy named Julian. She's joined by her boyfriend Dave, who sneaks in through the back door. The two joke around, thinking the night is theirs. But Julian says he saw something, a man standing in the doorway of his room. Vicky checks to calm him down. The closet door creaks open. She shuts it. Then it creaks open again. She pulls it wider, and there he is. The shape bursts from the shadows, cutting through the room like a nightmare made flesh. Vicky screams, telling Julian to run. The boy sprints into the night, desperate for help. Dave grips a kitchen knife and charges toward Vicky, unaware of what's waiting for him. Sheriff Hawkins is one of the first to respond. Hawkins enters the house, weapon drawn, moving room to room until he finds Dave's body brutally hung up on the wall. He moves upstairs where he finds Nikki's body under a sheet. Laurie hears the call on her radio and drives toward the address, her eyes burning with determination. When she arrives, she sees Michael in the window. Without hesitation, she fires, only shattering a mirror. The search continues into the night. Laurie spots him again, fires, but when she turns the corner, there's nothing there, only shadows. Meanwhile, Allison walks home from the party with Oscar, Cameron's friend. Oscar tries to cheer her up, but his words soon turn into awkward advances, but she pushes him away and walks off into the night. He stays behind, muttering to himself until movement catches his eye. A towering figure stands in the dark, revealing the pale mask. Michael strikes and Oscar stumbles back as the blade barely misses him. Oscar gets up and runs, scrambling over a tall gate, but his clothes snag. Michael closes in and the knife falls again. Allison hears the screams and heads back toward the sound. She finds Oscar impaled on the gate, his blood dark in the moonlight. Then she sees him, Michael, standing in the shadows. She screams and bolts through the neighborhood, pounding on doors until a porch light flickers on and a woman opens up. Karen speaks with the police, now fully aware of what's happening. Fear and panic set in. Her only concern is her daughter's safety. The night deepens over Haddonfield. Police cars sweep the streets as panic begins to spread. Sheriff Hawkins joins forces with Dr. Sartain, the psychiatrist who survived the bus crash. Sartain insists that capturing Michael alive is crucial. He wants to understand him, to hear the silence speak. But to Hawkins, Michael isn't a mystery to solve. He's something to destroy. Sheriff Hawkins and Dr. Sartain arrive at the house where Allison has taken shelter. Deciding she'll be safer with them, they bring her into their car. Meanwhile, at Laurie's fortified home, Laurie, Karen, and Ray prepare for what's coming. They retreat to the underground bunker Laurie built for this very night, stocked with weapons and supplies. Karen and Ray are terrified for Allison, but Laurie is certain of one thing. Michael isn't after her granddaughter. He's coming for Laurie, to finish what he started. As Sheriff Hawkins, Dr. Sartain, and Allison drive through the dark road, they spot a lone figure ahead. Michael. Hawkins accelerates and hits him head-on. Michael's body rolls across the hood and crashes to the ground. Hawkins steps out, gun raised, ready to finish it once and for all, but Sartain shouts for him to stop, saying Michael must live. Then, in a shocking instant, Sartain stabs him in the throat with a hidden blade concealed in his pen. Hawkins collapses, gasping for air. Sartain kneels beside Michael and reaches for the mask. Inside the car, Allison watches in shock, trapped and trembling. She sees a figure slowly rise, the pale mask now staring back at her. But it's not Michael. It's Sartain. It's as if he's lost himself completely, consumed by the evil he spent his life studying. He shoves Michael in the car, next to terrified Allison, mumbling to himself that this will be a reunion worth witnessing. As he drives toward Laurie's house, Sartain tells Allison that he wants to see what happens when predator and prey finally meet again, when survivor faces monster. And that's when Michael moves. The shape awakens. Michael stares at Allison for a moment, but doesn't move. Then his gaze shifts to Dr. Sartain. With monstrous force, he kicks the seat, sending the doctor screaming in pain. Michael grabs Sartain by the head, slamming it against the car until the vehicle screeches to a stop. Michael steps out, dragging Sartain's limp body with him. Allison takes the chance to flee into the forest. Sartain looks up at Michael. He begs him to speak, but Michael answers by crushing his skull beneath his boot. A short distance away, Two officers see the commotion and move in to investigate. At Laurie's compound, the night is still. Suddenly, Ray notices a police car parked outside. Curious, he steps out to investigate. What he finds inside freezes him in horror. The two officers from before brutally murdered. Before he can react, Michael appears behind him. Ray struggles, but it's useless. He collapses to the ground, lifeless. Laurie spots Michael through the window. She orders Karen to hide in the bunker beneath the kitchen floor while she faces him herself. Karen obeys, disappearing below. The house falls silent. Nothing seems to move. Then a hand smashes through the glass, grabbing Laurie. A violent struggle erupts. Laurie fires her gun, blowing through Michael's hand, and barely escapes his grip. She retreats into the bunker with Karen. Above them, footsteps echo across the floor. Slow, deliberate, searching. Laurie fires upward, but hears nothing in return. Determined to end it, she moves through the house, clearing each room one by one. Upstairs, she enters a room filled with mannequins. The air is thick with tension. Then, one of the mannequins move. Michael lunges, slamming Laurie against the wall. Their eyes lock, 40 years of terror between them. They fight savagely. Laurie slashes with a knife, even biting at Michael's fingers, but he overpowers her and throws her off the balcony. When he looks down, she's gone. Just then, Allison arrives at the house. Michael hears her. Karen quickly pulls Allison into the bunker. Michael tries to break in and eventually succeeds. Karen grabs her rifle and shoots. Michael firms it. Then, from the shadows, Laurie reappears. After a brutal struggle, Laurie manages to strike Michael into the bunker. Karen and Allison quickly climb out as Laurie pulls a hidden lever, sealing metal bars across the opening. A trap built just for this moment. Gas lines begin to hiss, and Laurie sets the whole bunker on fire. Michael stands below, engulfed by flames, silent and motionless. Laurie, Karen, and Allison make it outside as the whole house burns down. They flag down a truck passing by. In the back of the truck, the three women sit in silence, bloodied, broken, but alive. They stare into the distance, relieved it's finally over, or so they think. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one.